Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes as we move through what's been, for the most part, a spectacular weekend of weather in the eastern part of the United States. Now, as always with these things, there's a little bit of an exception, and we're going to point out the standout exception here, and that is what's going on in New England, particularly in the eastern half of New England, where we're dealing with this upper air storm system, very strong upper air system that was strong enough to drive dry air all the way down into the southeast. Dew points plunged into the 50s and 40s down into as far south as Georgia. And you can also see how much dry air, and not all of this is cool air, by the way, some of it is hot air that covers this entire region from the East Coast all the way into the Plain States. But it's that one area in southeastern New England that's dealing with the rotation around that upper low, and that has produced quite a bit of cloud cover. And also, as we check out the radar at midday, this is as of 3 p.m. Eastern Time, the rain continues in Maine, and it's just clipping southeastern Massachusetts and the Cape. It was a lot more widespread overnight and this morning. In fact, the rains went all the way back into the eastern half of Long Island and eastern Connecticut last night for a while, but that has pulled away. So other than that, it's very, very quiet. We've got some thunderstorms going on in parts of Florida. We've got some rain and some heavier downpours over Lake Superior, moving southeastward toward the northern part of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. And we've got a lot of rain going on in Montana, and that's also going to mean for some severe weather later today per the Storm Prediction Center. They're actually about to put up a severe thunderstorm watch as of 3:10 Eastern Time in southeastern Montana. I'm sure details will be coming out shortly, but you can always check out severe weather details by going to spc.noaa.gov, and that's where the slight risk is today. You've got a marginal risk in the state of Florida. Nothing else going on up and down the east. Northern Plains for tomorrow, with a slight risk, although it does not come with any kind of tornado risk. It's less than 2%. And on day 3, just a small area of marginal risk in the northern areas of the middle Mississippi Valley. Let's put it that way. Now, as far as rainfall is concerned over the next 7 days, one of the things that we're looking at here in the eastern part of the United States is the fact that we're going to be right at the boundary of the hot air that will be to our west and this troughing that has been along the eastern seaboard. So as that boundary zone sets up, there's going to be some shower and thunderstorm activity ahead of it. And that's why SPC has got rainfall amounts, some patchy rainfall amounts of 3/4 of an inch to an inch, but it's generally 1/4 of an inch up and down the East Coast, a lot more in Florida, much more of it in parts of the Southwest, which is great news, and not so good news in parts of the northern Rockies where they really don't need any more rain, but there's still quite a bit being forecast by WPC over the next 7 days. So the issue here going forward, and we'll start with the upper air just so I can illustrate this a bit better for you. So here's our trough in the east, here's a trough in the west, and we've got a ridge right in the middle. So there you go. You've got quite an interesting setup here. And that ridge pushing up means the hot air is in the plains. It's in the south. The fact that the upper high is so far inland, by the way, it means that in the south it's hot, but it's not crazy humid by any stretch of the imagination this week. In fact, the dew points are going to be relatively reasonable in most places away from the Gulf Coast, which is why you don't see any thunderstorm development. Now, here in the east, you'll see that trough just kind of sits there off the East Coast all week long. And as a result, we're going to see disturbances that are going to be moving over the top of that ridge and then dropping southeastward. That's how we're going to wind up getting some precip. And as we move through the week, that ridge actually flattens out a bit across the Gulf states, and the upper air winds start to turn a bit more westerly. So if that's the case, then maybe eventually weather systems will move along a bit, and we can get out of the way of that boundary zone. And next week, more troughing wants to come into the eastern United States, which is going to complicate matters a bit as far as the longer term part of this forecast is concerned. But going through this week, Now, obviously, today, with except for that minor, the issues that we're talking about in southeastern and eastern New England, there are no problems. And I'll just roll it back a little bit more here. That leads us to a nice day for Monday. Another nice cool night tonight with temperatures mostly in the 40s and 50s. We'll be in the mid to upper 70s tomorrow. Tuesday, we start to see that boundary zone, and you notice that the precip shield actually comes down out of Canada and moves southeastward. This is going to be for Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday night, into Wednesday morning. It's a narrow band, so if you're on either side of that, it's only maybe about 75 to 100 miles wide. If you're in that band, you get rain. If you're outside of it, you don't. We're probably going to see some showers around on Wednesday into Wednesday night. And then on Thursday, we'll maybe start to move that boundary further to the east, and we could see weather conditions improve for Friday. And right now, next weekend is looking good. I don't see any complications, at least as far as the GFS is concerned, with regarding next weekend. European has a slightly different view of things, but I'm tending to lean to the idea that after Thursday, we get this boundary zone out of the way and things settle down. There's no sign, by the way, of any hot weather coming into the east anytime soon. We may not get another cool, dry air mass like this for quite a while, but as far as 90 plus weather and even 100 plus weather that we're going to see in parts of the deep south this coming week, we don't see that kind of heat coming into the northeast and the northern mid-Atlantic states pretty much at least through the next couple of weeks, other than the odd day here and there. Okay, have a great rest of your Father's Day. Enjoy it, and we will see you later.